Yeah, I I have gotten so distracted today with meetings and Twitter and a variety of things, but now it is time to write some C code. Uh, Almost. I'm gonna do a couple quick things first, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish the render client in C, which will be fun. Whoops, that is my email. Let's not do that. Couple quick announcements here. So this post is done pretty darn well. This video here, you can see it's at 2:38 on Twitter, so that's awesome. I need to click this up by one. Yeah, so that's awesome. Um, and on YouTube, I actually haven't checked yet. We're at 640 on YouTube with some comments. Cool. So this is doing, I mean, this is not blown up at all, on YouTube. We'll see if it does. And the one other thing I was very excited about today, look at this. We're closing in on 1,000 stars. This spike from the video here. So we'll see if we hit that this week. That would be amazing. Hey, don't forget to feed the puffer. Aside from that, the breakout sweep. Why is this so laggy? The breakout sweep here with the revised carbs, you can see we have 500 score on breakout, which is pretty awesome. We're not going to be doing anything with that today, but it's good to know that we have improved carbs for the next MOBA sweep. And that's about it. So I think what we're going to get started on here. Welcome, YouTube folks. What we're going to get started on here is what I was working on last night. Where is it? Pufferlib, environments, ocean, MOBA, and we've got our MOBA here. And if I recall, we had it to the point that it was actually running. Let me remember how this was running. I believe it was running if I just do in MOBA. Do I have the command in here? Nope. Yeah, I need the linker thing. Export. What's it? LD library path equals graylib / lib. I think it's just this. There we go. So here we have the MOBA. And this is not very fun to look at, right? This is not particularly impressive. But the goal is to implement the full client. And then this will be able to run on the web. And you guys will be able to play with it and tell me if stuff is broken. And it'll be fun to collaborate on, and there'll be some cool stuff to do with it there. But in order to get to that, we have to get this thing to actually work correctly, because as you can see, nothing is actually happening. It's spawning stuff, but nothing is really moving. So we have to figure out what is going on here. Yeah. So I think if I recall, we were somewhere here, 351. And let me make this visible. Okay, Puffer, you're distracting. So moba.h v1. And now we're here in step neutrals. Action is 2. Action is 255. So that's interesting. If I recall, I think that the destinations were screwy. Okay, so if I'm looking at these here, the position of this agent is reasonable, but it's pathing somewhere that doesn't make any sense. So let's figure out why that is. This is in 792. One second. I have to turn this down one tick. I can't deal with this in my eyes all day like this. Can I just fix the green screen a little bit so that so that it will work with the green screen a little bit less ridiculous? Nah, I think this will be okay for now. We have a little bit of green haze here, but this light is too bright for me to stare at all day. Good for recording videos, not good for, working all day. 351, we say? Okay, so this says that we scanned a target that has a nonsense position, basically, right? So it's either the scan function or the target function. I bet it's in scan AOE, so let's start there. Which would be 643. Okay, interesting. So this never gets there? Really? Let me just make sure of this. Okay, so as you can see, this never gets to this line. So this nearest scan target thing should be normal. Let me see how the logic looks for this. So this does scan AOE. Let's go to here. Okay, so now we've hit this. Whoops, I hate how it, like, changes your focus. Okay, tick 0, so we definitely scanned AOE, right? So this is saying that the entity is not null. Targets PID 0. Is that not how you do null? I thought it... What? Am I dumb here? Zero. So it is just zero. Okay, so according to this, this is zero. Neutral. Spawn. 791. Yeah, so right here, it skipped over this. 783. And according to this, we never actually hit anything, which is weird. I thought we were hitting something before. Oh, are we... Is it here? Neutral spawn Y? Is this what's messed up? $352. Okay, so Y dest, X dest. Okay, so this is the nonsense, right? And then if I go into, whoops, neutrals AI. So I had this wrong before. It's the spawn Y and the spawn X that don't make sense here. So let's figure out why that is. So we have respawn neutral. And this is not where spawn X and spawn Y are getting added, right? Respawn player. So do we do this in a NetMoba somewhere? I think that these guys are not getting they're not getting spawned correctly. We have this here, right? So 1428. Okay, so neutral spawn Y, neutral spawn X. This looks reasonable to me. In fact, all this data looks reasonable, so it must be getting assigned incorrectly. Camp. How many elements do we have here? 9. 18 elements. And then 18 total camps. So this is totally reasonable, right? Neutral PID is also correct. The heck? I mean, somewhere here this is getting messed up, right? Let's go back to this and see if we can figure out where. Okay. So this is where it's getting messed up, right? Y dest is 1. PID 110. Neutral offset 10. It's 110. So this is the very first neutral, right? And this is saying that okay, this is all reasonable here, right? 73. Let's just say 70, 73, 43. Yeah, this is reasonable because it's a little bit of a random spawn around here. So that's a good position. I think that that's correct. And then the destination has got to be the weird part. Which is right here with spawn. So let's quit here. moba.h 7.2 run. And spawn y. Oh, cool. You can print, if you dereference it, you actually get the whole struct. That's really nice. I'm actually surprised how nice the print format is in just GDB. So if we look here, we can actually see that the spawns look good, right? Okay. Y starts. Y. Best. 44. Hold on. So this gets truncated. Spawn Y and spawn X are right here. Ah, ha, ha, ah. I changed the stupid signature of this function like a dummy, and I forgot to refactor immediately. Okay. Let it be known, I am stupid. Let it be known that I am stupid. And we need all of this to be... I'm sure that this gets called elsewhere, right? And creep. It's good, right? Agent speed last, agent speed last. Yeah, it only gets called in 4 places. Cool. Build local. Ho ho ho. Well, the pathing is totally screwed up. They are fighting. Look at that. Okay, pathing is totally messed up on the creeps, but they do actually do something. Wait, what? I'm sure that we're just like wrapping waypoints wrong. Let me use the restroom real quick, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna fix this, and yeah, we'll go from there. Whoops, one sec. I don't need these on at all, do I? I used to editing the video. If I message the output of glx info... Oh, what? What? Yeah, this leaks. We don't care. We know that this leaks. This is just unloading. I think there's like a couple hundred byte leak in like some Raylib dependency, but it's only when you go to exit the whole thing. It's only a few hundred bytes as well. It doesn't accumulate. Right, so what we needed to do was figure out why these waypoints are weird. Waypoints of... Did I declare this thing correctly? I think I did. Waypoints. Okay, this is the creep AI, right? So we'll put right here. Right. Oops. break on, right? Run this. And lane, waypoint, lane. Okay. Point. It's 1. Okay, so this is... Wait. Huh? Oh no, this is... You can see that the coordinates are flipped here, right? Something got yx and then xy'd. That's what's wrong. The data error. Ugh, man. So right here, we're doing, this is it, right? It should be neutral camp X, neutral camp Y. Okay. And then, where is the darn thing? Ah, right here. This seems wrong to me, though. This seems wrong to me. Oh, wait, because, yeah, look. The spawn is getting inserted correctly, and then this is getting inserted wrong. So that's easy. That's an easy fix. Process neutrals. Dot pi. Dot text. 9614, 9314. Okay, now we have the waypoints correct in here. So what I'm going to do is text. I'm going to grab the waypoint chords, which should be the only things I need, right? Yeah. And then this just goes into moba.h. We rebuild. And now we run the game in all of its glory. Look at this. Look at that. Very nice indeed. Are we online? Did we just have an internet blip? We'll see if Xfinity decides to die again today. Hopefully not. Let's commit this up in the meantime. Oops. Happening. Okay. We now get to start on the real client, which is going to be fun. And this is the main thing that I wanted to do today. So the story with this is right now we have moba.py, which is using raylib for this rendering. We are using the C-style raylib API, meaning that the code should be, even though it's Python, it should be almost one-to-one with C. That said, we still have a little bit of work to do porting it because, maybe we use some dictionaries, maybe we use some other things. But it's pretty self-contained. So I think we're going to just be able to do this. Just grab all the Python code. Let's see, how much code is this? $373 lines. And now we got to port this to native C. So let's just do, this will go to render map. This will become init map renderer. This will become close map renderer. This will become map renderer like this. Level map overview. And then this one will be player client view. And we'll be able to reuse a couple small things, I think. Actually, does this need to store anything other than... We'll make a separate struct for now, but we might end up being able to just reuse this one. We've got renderer, game renderer. We'll copy some of this to start, I think. Game renderer. Okay, game renderer. And I don't know why we're doing this way. This is fine. Yeah. And now we need to start copying logic in. So what do we have game map path in here? We have the game map included apparently because of the shader. But this is fine because we don't actually... We are only loading this file using raylib, so we don't have to do any weird CIO, right? So I think we can just start copying this stuff into here. So we have renderer width, renderer height. This is where we are, right? Then asset map. What is asset map here? We do not use it. It's down here. So this is not needed. This is not needed. We are going to need to declare asset map in the array. So this is the next piece we need here. Cool. How many different things do we want in here? I think it tells us up top, right? 16. by 4. And then what we do is render asset map is going to be equal to zero, 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 zero. And then there's nothing on 1, so 0, 0, 0, 0. Then 2 is going to be 384 for 128. And then 3 here is also 384. We're basically just copying this from a dictionary into a flat array. Except this one is a little different, right? This one is 0. 4 is going to be 256. 5 is going to be 384. Yep, then now it gets this one right. This one is 256. 56, yep. For 256, 128, 128. And then 128, 256, yep. 9 is 10. 11 is, now we're back up to here, 256. 256, 128. 384. 4. 256. And now it's caught on to the pattern. 14 is 0. 0, 3, 4, okay. So now we have all of these. These are done. And then we'll just do int stun UV for slow UV, speed UV. Stun UV, slow UV, and speed UV. Okay. So we don't have any maps to play around with in C, but we don't need them because we can just use arrays. And this will actually be faster as well, because now we're no longer using hash maps. Fun fact, dictionaries are not fast, they are slow. It's O of 1 with a giant constant on it. Okay, and this this was janky to begin with, so we'll have to do something about the paths or whatever, but I'm going to get rid of this for now. From Raylib, import RL, and color. This doesn't exist in C. So we'll get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Target FPS to 60 is important. And now these things here are also going to end up being important. I don't know what the types of these are. So we'll find that out in a moment. I think we're going to have to do texture 2D. Oh. Game map. And then do we do self.puffer? Does this get used? Yes, it does. So, oops. So game map. No, second texture 2D, puffer, and then shader. Then we'll just do render game map. We no longer need encode, I believe. This is just going to be game map.png. Like this, and then puffer is going to be puffer. Is that the path? Puffer assets. Oh, look at this. All the paths are wrong. Let's just go grab this code back for a second. Puffer. Welcome. We're jamming some C today, having a good time. Game map path. Oops. Something's weird here. What's this, like, self.puffer? Sprite sheet path is self.puffer. Okay. Which is MOBA assets. I don't know why it's doing this nonsense. This should be load. What the hell? So shader path is MOBA shader FS. So game map shader. And then what do we have? Lots of different things here. Game map is done. Puffer is done. This shader is done. Holy shit, this is the biggest DL effort in C that I know of. After Darknet? Not really. This C did not exist until, Saturday. I ported the first 1,400 lines or whatever on Saturday, and then I just cleaned it up yesterday and today, finished a couple things, and now I'm porting the renderer. So the goal is this is going to be like a 2,000 line C project that's just a miniature version of Dota that runs at 1,000,000 FPS for RL. And since it's in C, we're going to be able to play it in the browser. Isn't that nice? So I'll be able to put it online and link it to you all, and you'll all be able to play against the RL agents and tell me what needs to be rebalanced. This is also pretty much the first time I've written C in like 10 years, so this is going to get much faster. That's crazy nice. Yeah, It's not that hard either. Like, doing this in C is really not any harder than doing it in Python, which isn't really any harder than doing it in Python. So, turns out you can just do stuff. Which is why I say, if anybody's interested in writing stupidly high perf RL simulators, which is basically just simple games programming but with ultra high perf, let me know. We've got we've got some people doing that already, and we're always looking for more. It's a good time. The C is not required. Python at least is required, but that takes all of 5 seconds to learn. Bloom shader. It's gonna be Bloom shader FS. This is, I think you have to do like this or something, because this syntax isn't valid. And also this RL is not valid here. All these like RL calls, this should just be load texture. It's C, there's no namespace with this. I guess the only thing that's a little bit weird about what I'm doing here is I'm kind of snake casing everything, which is not exactly idiomatic C, but whatever, right? You write Python for a long time, and this is how you end up doing things. I got too used to snake case to go back. Okay, we'll do Bloom shader, and then shader canvas. So let's do like this. Just order these things nicely. Variables are yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm sure this will annoy some people, but whatever. Let me write my C in peace, right? I'm having so much fun with this as well. Like, this is just generally a good time. Okay, what is this here? Is this an int, float? Is a float maybe? We have to add a few variables up here. What do shaders do? I will show you. So this is what the game looks like now. You can see that there's like this nice outline that kind of glows, and like the transition as well. It goes from this cyan over to here. It'll kind of fade in, fade out as well over time. And then there's also this nice texture in the background. There's like this subtle wavy pattern. So yeah, we have a few fun shaders for this, just to jazz it up a little bit. The hope is to port all of this into C today. Also, how's your environment going? I want to get a lot of these fun projects online as fast as I can, because Buffer is really, I mean, the new video did a pretty nice number for us. Like, look at this. This says 881 from before, 950. Look at this growth. 70 stars overnight. Speaking of which, don't forget to feed the puffer. He eats stars. Rising to the stars, yep. 950 was me. Thank you very much for your service. The stars help a lot. Just to get the word out there on the project and such, right? This silly thing. Okay, this is the syntax, right? Okay, so these are the GLSL variables that we got to grab from our shaders. So now we're down to here. Okay, so here I'm actually going to have to look up the API spec for C because I need to make a camera in C. So we'll have to do that. Not much progress finishing writing damn thesis. Once that's done, hey, do what you gotta do, right? And I swear, getting stuck just writing annoying things in academia was just one of the worst, most demotivating things out there. It's so much better when you don't have to do that. Gonna make some cool UI. I mean, we're gonna get this running on the browser to begin with, right? We're gonna port the full UI to run on a browser. And then I'm gonna be able to put it on the Puffer website. Actually, I think I have... Don't I own this? I'm pretty sure I own this domain. Yeah, this is mine. So we'll probably put all the games on puffer.gg. I'm pretty sure I just have it set to auto renew. Too many things moving. Well, yeah, we also just don't have good enough artwork. Have you ever played Dota or League of Legends? So cool that they have this in a pop-up and it works like this. Okay, where's the camera in it? Right here. Yeah, wait, do you have both minions and heroes? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have creep waves. We've got 5 unique heroes, so it's a mirror match 5v5. And we have neutrals. Last time I played Dota's 4 years ago. I was 16, got yelled at by Chinese for 2 hours players. That's what you call welcome to the game, right? That's just welcome. You ever played an MMO? You'll get flamed way worse. It'll make all the MOBA players look like just great people. Hey everyone on YouTube. Looks like the stream's warmed up nicely. Welcome. That paste. Okay, we were doing this. Only ever see Russians on Dota. Yeah. Like this. Don't like these spaces. Okay, so we made the camera here, and then the target vector is, it's 0, right? And then the offset is not set. Rotation 0, zoom 1. Okay, so we'll have to figure out where offset is getting messed with. This was the one thing that I used the Python style API for with Raylib, because FFI is really obnoxious. And in Python, if you want to do camera directly, do you see the CFFI bullshit? It's not fun. I see. Last click. Oops. Oh, set no paste. That's what's going on. Okay. And I also don't like this malloc. Where is this? Before I get burned by this. Don't malloc stuff. Use calloc. 0's the memory for you. Why use malloc when you can calloc? Okay, so we don't need this CData numpy bullshit. And now this renderer thing is the function that we need to port. So we're just going to take this entire blob of code right here. We're going to put it up here. And then we're going to unindent it, and we're just going to start porting like one-to-one Python to C. And it's like a massive function that we're going to have to clean up, but this is what we're starting with. So, void render, map renderer MOBA. And I'm sure that we'll need this signature, so I'll leave it up here. We don't need any of these. My player equal entities of human player, which is we'll just pound define for now, I think. Player to be 0. This will be a to-do. And I believe this is going to be entity star my player is going to be entities of human player like this. Tile size. This is an int. Tile size. And we have all this stuff here. So AY equals 0, AX equals 0. I don't even know why we're defining these here, but we're just going to port one-to-one brain dead for now. Skill, target heroes. So frames is define frames 12 for frame 0. So this is the number of frames per tick, which is at the moment 12 frames for every game update, because it ticks at... Is that wrong? No, it ticks 5 times per second, so 5 times 12 is 60. RL get screen width. Why do I think that that's not the right signature? Get screen, because it's not the right signature. Okay, so we have set the width and the height, so this is now resizable. We have float tick frac, it's going to be 0. This doesn't need to be defined up here. We're in C, we can do like this, float tick frac. Oops, float tick frac, frame over frames. And then we do float main R. It's going to be R last Y. Tick frac of my player Y minus my player last Y. Okay, so this is us doing animations manually. Because the game only updates 5 times per second, and then we smooth the animation. So like if you're moving in a certain direction, we'll like smooth it so that it looks like you're moving cleanly, even though it's only updating in chunks of 200 milliseconds. So this will make it cleaner. And then we do float main R shader, main C shader. Yep, these things will just auto port pretty much. And we'll do renderer, camera target Y and X. This is not a valid cast. We also don't need to do a valid cast, I believe, because C will do it for us. So ironically, this becomes easier than in Python, which I think is pretty funny. And then F main R, F main C, F, F. And then we do main R equals F main R. And then this will autocast for us. And then we have rmin, rmax, so we have int rmin. It's going to be like this. So now we ported the array bounds. And then we have vec to pause, get mouse position, raw mouse X, raw mouse Y. Then we have int. This is actually just so much easier. And like this is just automatically going to be fast as well. It's just going to automatically be at least 10 times faster than the client was before. Literally 0 effort. Yep. I don't want to save this as a vec2 in the struct because it's unnecessary. You know, why use a vec2 when a couple floats will suffice? Now I have to consider this. Now I have to consider this. I think what I do is I check for -1. Is this a float? Yeah, it is a float, but I think I can still use -1. Renderer. Ah, look, it literally understands what I'm doing here. Yeah, if... Then what we do is... Oh, actually... That is kind of a nice thing that I could do with the vector. I don't want to have to allocate a new vector and stuff. I think this is fine like this. We'll leave a little to-do there. Okay, so int dest x. I think this is float dest x. Yep. So we have all these. Then we rescale. Float mag. Square root f. Fine. If mag is greater than 1, then basically the exact same code, right? We do if and this. We null the click. Now we do AY. Is AY defined up here? It is. I think you can find some more people who might be interested in low-level deep learning and GeoHots community. Yeah, I've got to thank the guy, honestly, because he starred Pufferlib pretty early on in development, and we got like 150 stars overnight on the project. I'm hoping eventually we'll be able to do something with like Pufferlib plus tiny boxes or something, but right now, like, we would have to get multi-GPU stuff working in RL, and the whole stack is so cursed that first we're getting like really, really good single GPU demos running, and then we'll go to multi-GPU. Like, there's no point in doing multi-GPU when the whole rest of the field is sat at like 5% GPU utilization in RL. It's pathetic. Else 0. Need this. Exit 0. Oh, this is not a thing though. You can't just type exit 0, right? Turn. This should be an int instead of a void. This should be an int, and it should actually return 1, not -1. Because in C, for whatever reason, this is an error code. Okay, so now we don't have to free. It's the responsibility of the caller to free. That's a pretty easy translation right there. These are already defined up top, so we should be good. And now this action thing here is... Well, this is screwy, right? I think this should be env. This is where you're supposed to do player control. This is where you're supposed to do player control. Okay. For now, we'll do it this way. Do we have env in here? We do, right? It's defined up top. Yeah. So this is going to be env entities human player. Oh no, it's env actions, right? Yeah. So we're just going to put all of these things that you've selected into the environment's action buffer directly. So now you are able to control the player. And then we do begin drawing. Clear background. Is this colors a 0? Yes, it is. And then we do begin shader mode. Under shader, we don't need these prints. See all this garbage here. Camera X pointer. Main C shader. What the hell? Main C shader. Oh. Well, this is all the way up there for some reason, right? Doesn't need to be all the way up there, unless is it saving a loop or something by putting it up there? It's not even saving a loop, putting it up there. Yeah. Oops. Let's just put it down here, closer to where it belongs. Float star. Camera X pointer. I don't understand what the hell this is. Why we're giving it a pointer to a float for some reason. And main R shader. This is a local variable. I don't understand this whatsoever. So, voodoo, isn't this a local? So I don't understand what this is doing. Import time. Time is not what we want, so include time.h, time. Okay. Let's do float. Shader time is time of null. We have shader time pointer. Okay, and now we can do set shader, renderer shader, renderer, shader camera X, camera X pointer, uniform float. And this is not RL because it's C. Okay. Now we do RL or draw texture with white. And then we do end shader mode. And I think I'll do this in one big block right here. So this is the shader. Boom. So this is the, I believe this is the shader that does main like environment shader. There's another one after, I believe. In mode 2D, render a camera. This is all common until we delete it. And then we'll have to do these loops. I'm gonna use the restroom again real quick, and then we'll start on that. Folks, if you haven't seen the new YouTube video, I suggest watching it at some point. It's pretty high effort, high production video, and it's me going through the whole reinforcement learning stack, kind of outlining where I see the field going, what Puffer's going to do about it, and how the whole next wave of progress is going to be made. That's on YouTube. RL Iceberg. And yep, as Bet says, Star the Puffer. Gotta feed him. He eats stars. Helps me out a ton. Welcome, Bet. How's it going? Our resident proselyte. The video was deck. What? I hope it's doing well. It's done pretty well on Twitter so far. Speaking of which, yeah, look at that. Decent. I hope it's a better than decent. We've got 20K views on it on Twitter. 240. And whoops. I forgot to reply to a thing. If you watched it on 1.5x, there's no way you're following it, Bet. It's dense. You nutcase. I will show you. Check this out. We've got from 881 yesterday, 950. So it's done pretty well for the GitHub. That video has several stuff. Like, I guarantee you there's not a single person watching that video who is not learning at least something. I mean, I compressed like a whole overview of the entire stack into 25 minutes. What? Yeah, the RL Iceberg. Didn't understand a lick of it. Saw graphs go up and good enough for me. Welcome, South. Resident artist in here. We're getting this thing built so it'll run on the web right now. I'm porting this right here. This is the client that I'm porting. No surprises in there? Seriously? I mean, maybe you've heard me yap about this stuff plenty, but I swear, you can be a world expert in RL, and there will be stuff there that you were not aware of. There's a lot of stuff in that. Reminds me of like Elon Musk posting that he was watching the Iliad at like 1.25 or 1.5 or whatever. Like, what? What are you doing? Alright, so yeah, this is a slight issue. This is a dynamic length thing. PRs to submit. Okay, so I have to figure out how to do this. I need to know how many they're gonna be, right? Let's just make... Should I just make a large buffer to begin with? 1,000 steps to a gigabillion stack. Yeah. Gigabillion. So this is one of the obnoxious things. This is one of the very few obnoxious things. I have to get this dynamic list. I have to do like a static thing here. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. 1 second. Environment busted, mined lightspeed. So what I want to do with this, I realized that I own the domain puffer.gg in addition to puffer.ai. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make like a games page that's going to have all the different simulators that have been ported to C. And you're just going to be able to play them online. And that page will just get larger. That's going to be the idea. It really shouldn't take that long to port the existing stuff that I have to C, so we can do that. And then, start deving more stuff fast. Should be good. So here's what we're going to do in the meantime. I'm going to pre-allocate at least. How many tiles could this possibly be? Let's say that you have 3840, 3840, 32, 120. We'll just do 128 times 128. And I think it's entity star. Or just int star. Hang on a second. I just have to figure out how I'm recording this data. PID YX. Okay, so all I need is the PID. So that's not bad at all then. What we're going to do is we're going to add to the renderer, and this is a little bit janky, but bear with me here. We're going to add int render entities 128 times 128. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to do int render idx. It's going to be 0. And we'll convert these loops. So for y is going to go from rmin to rmax. Then we'll do x from cmin to cmax. And we'll just do if this is a bounds check. This is a little bit different from the renderer height. This needs to be this should be env height, I believe. Does this even have... I don't even know if this has MOBA width height. I think it's hard-coded to 128. So we'll just do this for now. And this is a continue. Then we do int tile. It's going to be grid. Actually, it's not an int, right? It's an unsigned char tile, which is going to be env grid yx. Then we'll do if tiles empty, continue. And then we have int pid, be env pids yx. You're forgetting here that I need the map address, so this has got to be int adder map offset, right? Yeah. So you can't do, this is not a 2D array, it's a 1D array, so I have this convenient function to get myself the indices. So this is now going to be adder, same address. Okay, and now we'll do if it is -1. You draw a rectangle. I don't know where it got this continue from. I think this is red like this. Okay. And then get rid of this. And now instead of render entities append, this is the key thing here. We do renderer render entities of render index is equal to PID. And we do render IDX, or where is it? Render IDX, IDX plus plus. So what this is going to do now is we have this giant flat buffer that we know is big enough for whatever we need. So instead of having a dynamic buffer, we're just going to fill this thing up, and then we're going to need to tell you, we're going to need to tell it the very last one, which is going to have to be, so we close these loops, whoops, we close these loops, and yes, it actually gets it right here. So this has been incremented, and then the last one gets set to -1, so this is the sentinel that tells us when to stop. Welcome even more YouTube folks. We are currently porting this game, which is a high-performance simulator for reinforcement learning, runs 1,000,000 steps per second. We're porting this to run in native C so that I can put it on a browser, and then you all can just play it and see whether there are any bugs in it, stuff like that. And soon we'll be able to have you playing against the RL agents in the browser like you can with the other Snake demo at the moment. This is, of course, a much more complicated project. Basically, miniature version of Dota or League of Legends. Familiar with those? And it's going to be about 2,000 lines of C for the whole thing. Really not that bad for this amount of complexity. Okay, so oh, this is actually even easier. We don't even need the sentinel value here, I don't think. Yeah, we actually don't even need this sentinel here, because since this is in one function, we can just literally do less than render IDX I++. Yeah. Because we're not even going to have to read and check the sentinel. Okay. So we do entity star entity. Okay, let's back up. Int PID is going to be render entities of I, and then we're going to do if PID is -1, you continue, and then we'll do entity. We're going to make an entity, which is going to be containing the thing that we just saved. And now we can do check the target PID, continue, and now this is where we do targeting, right? Yeah. Float entity X. Let's do it correct. So we have last X, tick frac. Yeah, all we had to do is change here the pointers to the dot notation of pointers. This one's fine. Target, is this the same? No, we have to declare this. And then let's actually do int target PID. Let's just cache this. And then we'll do entity star target PID, that's cleaner. And now we have these two lines are basically the same as above. I like this a little better. This is clean. And now this whole block is very easy to port, I believe, except it's a little different because we have to do color base, right? And then color accent like this. And then we do if team is 0, base is going to be red. And the accent can be, well, this is not just red though. This is going to be we'll do like this, right? Yeah, and we'll make the custom color. And then this should give us, yeah, this now should be able to autocomplete, right? Yes, this autocomplete is correct. So now we have our colors for our different cases here. Int target pix. We don't need that awkward cast anymore. We also don't need this weird floor division notation. Maybe someday we'll add an elo system to match against similarly skilled bots. Already done, my friend. Already done. Let me show you how cool this is. You want to see some really cool research stuff over here. So we have here all of the experiments that we're running. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. I'll show you. I just have to find the sweep. Is it maybe this one? It takes forever to load because this page is not written in C. This is the wrong one. It's one below. Metrics on metrics, yeah. So, okay, here we have 500 different experiments that have been trained. So 500 different agents that have been trained on this MOBA. You can see we have tons of stats like damage dealt for each class, levels gained, stuff like that. And here we have this massive elo over time chart. So you can see as we run more experiments, what happens is that you train the agent in a mirror match versus itself. So it's playing just against itself. It's like you're playing on chess and you just flip the chessboard around and like you take both moves or whatever, right? But this is how it's trained. But then when we go to evaluate it, we sample some of the agents from previous experiments and we calculate elo based on win rate against all these different experiments. So then we can see over these 500 different experiments, the elo goes up and up and up over time. That's pretty cool, right? And it's like a couple hundred lines of code to do this. This was the main thing that they did in OpenAI 5, and we can kind of just do, albeit a much smaller scale, but we can just do that. And we get all these different experimental results, and we lag the heck out of WandB because JavaScript is awful. And yeah, here you go. So the cool thing is, like, as soon as we have this ported, we'll see. Oops, not neural MMO. That's my other thing. As soon as we have this ported, like, you see this button up top on the main website? Well, this is a not JavaScript, very fast snake game that I can just play. I'm controlling this yellow snake now, and, you know, if I take my hands off, then it will take over. And it's not very smart, but it is pretty good at mechanics, right? You can see it's pretty good at doing the mechanics, and now it's going to get itself into a bad situation, so I can just, like, you know, get it out of that situation, and I'm bad at mechanics, so I messed up. But yeah, we're going to be able to play, versus the agent in browser, which will be cool. And if anybody wants to help out with, you know, making more M's and stuff to do all this stuff with, it's not that hard. Like, yeah, you see me editing 2,000 lines worth of C here, but, like, if you go look at the snake code, at least the original Python before it went into C, it's really not that bad. And we have several people around that don't have RL experience prior to this that are able to contribute. Because here, the snake, I always go to the snake demo just to show how simple it is. No, not this one, C snake. Yeah, so this is the entire implementation. It's 200 lines of code for the snake implementation in Python. And it reads like brain dead Python. Like, this, literally, if you just read through this, it looks like brain dead Python. It's just write the Python in the stupidest way possible, and this runs at like 10 million steps per second per CPU core. So it doesn't have to be that hard. And we are definitely looking for more environments for Puffer, because we can run all sorts of cool RL on them. Brain dead million FPS? Yeah. No, not a million. The MOBA runs at a million. The Snake Env runs at like 10 million. Just don't call Python. Yeah, exactly. But it is really brain dead. Like, if you look at the code, I'm not doing anything smart. It's the opposite. I'm doing everything as dumb as humanly possible, right? Like, I don't have any fancy data structures. I don't have any fancy algorithms. I don't have any, like, fancy code structure with objects, this and that. It's just, like, really dumb, simple procedural code where you just write out all the loops and write out all the conditionals. That's all it is. It's really easy to make that type of code fast. I swear, we've just been nerd sniping ourselves on like software development for the past decade. It's not hard to write stuff that's this fast. Yeah, assembly is not easy to write though, bet. C, on the other hand, is not bad at all. Like, actually, the C here is not any harder to write than the Cython. I tell people, hey, you can just write the Cython because people go like, well, I don't want to have to write in C. That sounds crazy. It's like, okay, you can just write Python that looks, Cython that looks exactly like Python. And then once you do that for a bit, then you'll realize like, wait a second, this is basically just C. It's like, yeah. It's like, wait, but C is supposed to be hard. No, no, it's not. You've been lied to. It's that easy. Now, I will say, C is incredibly hard if you don't know that there's an address sanitizer. All right, that's the one thing. There are like some debug tools that tell you exactly where you're like segfaulting and leaking memory. If you don't know that those exist, then yeah, it's miserable. But they do exist, so. Don't skip lesson 3 of your Learn C tutorial. Well, Stanford managed to skip that one entirely in their systems courses, so I never knew this existed. At Stanford, you're smart enough to figure it out? No. I got to Stanford by being way too stubborn to, like, ask for help and, like, not do everything myself. So I would just, like, suffer through the assignments for 40 hours and be really mad and not learn anything. That's what happened. Well, that's how I did stuff. This RL here this arg needs to go away. Best difference, can't be lazy. I don't know, they actually ruined, like, low-level programming for me. It's taken me a decade to get back to it, almost. But it's so much easier than it was made out to be. It's so much easier. And now I'm just generally having a good time, you know? Okay, so source rect here needs to be... I think this will probably need a vector type or something. Okay, so we do begin shader mode. And then we do Raw Texture Pro. Right? And then we end shader mode. Do I like that? What if I do it without the... What if I do it like this? That looks worse. We'll leave that. Mods. What? Why the heck did I do it this way? Oh, because I wanted one draw call. Yeah, we don't need to care about that. There's no pushback. This isn't C++. Oops. And that's literally it. So now this is here. Draw status icons. And then this one, this block here is a bloom. I don't need that. We're good. Now we have this draw circle thing. Draw circle. And mode 2D. And now we do the HUD. Already all the way to the HUD. At least on the initial port. Entity star player and entities human player. Then we do color. Off color. It's going to be this. And then color on. Color. Yeah, we just do a ternary. Very sad to inform that Jax is also not going to make it. Yeah. I do not like Jax. I really don't. Like, think about it, right? Just think about it. If you were going to implement this MOBA, would you rather get to write it in Python, but you have to write the entire logic as array operations? You can't use like normal conditionals and loops and stuff. And you have to think about branching paths because the GPU executes every single branching path of logic. Or just write it in like brain dead simple C. Yeah. Like, this is not the way to do things, right? Like, you're not going to magically run everything on the GPU. It's not just, well, we should run stuff on the GPU because GPUs are faster than CPUs. No, GPUs are faster at very specific operations. CPUs are what you use to run general purpose code, which is what a simulator is. So Jax has some niche applications. I cover this in my video, right? I don't know if I mentioned Jax explicitly. I do say GPU environments, though, which is basically Jax. I also just generally think that their libraries are garbage. It's like, it reminds me of the Node ecosystem. It's just disgusting. You present the options neutrally? I don't have to present the options neutrally. I'm allowed to be opinionated. You doing the video? If you think that that's neutrally, then you can say so, but I mean, I was under no obligation or, any effort to be neutral about it, right? I'm drawing on my own experience here. Remember cleaner? Yeah, cleaner is awesome. That's what we use. I mean, here. Where is this? So this thing is currently less than 800 lines, but if I go to like line 400-ish, okay, this is already done. The train loop ends at before 400, and there's like an extra 100 line experience buffer. So like roughly, we'll say 500-ish lines in order to handle everything in RL ever, pretty much. And that's the full implementation as well. Like, look, we're not importing a million different things here. So, and then the rest is just logging and stuff. So yeah, clean RL rocks. Love clean RL. It needs a little bit of extra. It needs some extras to really be able to like do the type of stuff we're doing with Puffer, but it's such a good thing to start off of, and it's really, really hard. It was really hard for me to build it into like clean Puff RL because you have to give so much respect for the design of clean RL. It's like, oh well, I can just add this extra thing here. No, no, you can't. The whole point is that it's really, really simple, tightly coupled code. Um, you have to be very careful not to like break the simplicity of it. Okay, we replace these ternaries. Then we do Q cooldown. I think this is, whoops, Q cooldown. And then draw text like this, and we do not encode. Ah, crap. How do I do this? Okay. I don't like this at all. We're gonna just punt on the cooldowns to start with. Yeah, we're gonna just punt on the cooldowns. Because we're gonna have to do some string stuff. And what do we have? Return 0. We return 0 down here, don't we? So that only took us a half hour. Point of view of model training setup jacks is great. Is it better, to be honest? I don't know if it is better. I really don't know if it is better. Have you read like Jack's library code? It's really awful. They have like, especially in RL, they have just like tons of nested function definitions. It's like really gross functional bro code. It's like people who think that like Haskell is like the most easy to read thing ever. It's really not. And it's not only that, it's like they did that, but then they wanted to put some Fang style object oriented stuff into that as well. So it's just the worst parts of object oriented and functional code mixed together. It's god awful. It's like an impressively badly designed. And it's not even the core jacks. It's the fact that like jacks exist, and then you have all these third-party like flax and whatever other learning things around it, and they just none of them make any sense. We have to still port this draw bars function, don't we? Okay, let's put this down at the bottom. Now we do void draw bars. Fine. TRL, good for learning. NRL is good. What what are you saying for TRL? Oh, TRLX. Wait, this Lewis's thing? Yeah. This is Lewis's thing. But this is not RL. This is RLHF. Yeah, I know. This is Lewis's thing. Like, it does reinforcement learning. It's not just arbitrary transformer RL. It's specifically for language. Very, very, very different thing. Very different set of problems. Is OpenCL... I don't really understand many of your messages, Jason. There's cyan, or do I have to do... Well, we'll see. Do this. We have to punt on the draw text. And then this one here is also, this goes into here as well. But we get the rectangles regardless, right? Okay. And we close this here. 1977 lines. Which is probably about what it's going to end up being. There's going to be a shit ton of debugging involved with this. Yeah, so what we're gonna do here, and I see that more people are joining stream, so this is what we're trying to get ported from Python to C, so that we can run it in the browser, and you all can play with it. I just did the initial port. It's like 400 lines of Raylib stuff from Python original to C. So I just did the original port, and then we're probably going to do like a really tight loop debugging type thing in just a moment here. I'm going to go use the restroom real quick, and then we'll do that. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, wow. I had 14 a second ago on YouTube. Welcome. So I'm going to show you the tight little debugging loop that we're going to have here. So I should probably move the puffer for a second. Um, we're compiling. The main things are we got all warnings on. I might have to remove that initially. I might have to remove this initially because this is just going to spam way too much stuff. But I like uninitialized misleading indentation, and fsanitize address is the really big one. And the nice thing about doing this in native C compared to Python is our compile times are going to be so much better. So that's our compile time. And now I have it limited to 3 errors. So I just get to start here and start debugging super quick. Have you ever thought about going on the machine learning street talk? I don't know. I actually don't know very many like AI podcasts and stuff. I mean, pretty much I'll talk about whatever if it gives me a chance to, promote Puffer and share some of this stuff. The one thing I want to avoid is like I don't know what this specific podcast, but the like random AI speculation, like AI and society speculation stuff. I'm not doing that. But if it's tech, if it's just talking tech, that's good. Unknown type. Whoops. Okay. This needs to be this, right? Do I have the syntax wrong here? Just had Schmidt Huber? Okay. That's legit. That's cool. What is this? I see. So, ooh. See these? Yeah, this is the type of stuff I'm not gonna be. This is really freaking irresponsible in my mind. I mean, this is literally the thing. I pretty much said on stream, if I do this, please shoot me. Right? I think I said that yesterday, right? RLMs. Yeah. So here's the thing. I consider that type of stuff incredibly irresponsible because it's one thing for me to be hanging out on stream and just like speculating about random stuff. This is a very casual setting. It's another thing when you have like a well-produced podcast that's getting a bunch of views, going to people that don't know any better, taking this stuff seriously, right? It's like, oh, MIT PhD says that AI is going to kill us all. It's like, no. No, AI PhD wildly speculates, may as well be throwing a dart, a dart at a dartboard a million miles away. It's like, oh, but like scientists can't assign a probability that AI is going to kill all of us. That's what makes it so dangerous. It's like, no, I can't assign a probability that nanobots are going to kill us all either, right? Come on. The other thing I can't do is remember how the hell struct assignments work in C when I'm doing them inline like this. Where's this thing? Oops. 500. Assignment. Skeptical, X risk. Was with the AI snake oil guide debunking a bunch of stuff. I see, okay. That's better. I saw the title's kind of clickbait, but you get forgiven for that. Ah, it's a cast, right? Wait, what? That makes no sense. This is what I was looking for. I don't like this syntax, though, to be honest. I really don't like that syntax. really obnoxious. How do I do this without making this a total mess? We'll use the weird syntax for now. Oh, wait, this is just a pointer. Damn it. We'll do this for now. I will do this under protest. I do this under protest, let it be known. I'm sure I'm going to find a better way of doing this, and GPT is just dumb, as always. But... sudo unshitify. Coding under duress? Nah. Library function memcopy. What? How do I not have memcopy? Not in standard lib. Wait, void. Okay, so I mean, I think this is just GPT being stupid. This has to just be wrong, right? Error expected expression. Does this just need like a cast? Like, is it the same as right here? Also, what is the type of this? I might not even have to do this because I think Raylib has draw. These are colors or something, right? UV. Done UV. Draw texture pro. Rectangle, right? So this should actually be... let's just fix it here and then we'll see if it carries over. Yeah, let's fix the easier case first. So there's done UV. There's no reason to not just make this rectangle done UV, like this. And then we'll just do renderer. Yeah, and then you can cast like this, right? Okay, so we can actually see here that now it is happy. So I think that this will be, this is a color asset map. Oh wait, no, this is UVs. So it's actually rectangle 16 asset map, right? Like this. So this is just wrong. Oops. Nope. Oh, wait, the first two are actually 0, aren't they? Wait, did this get all 16? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this did not get all 16. This did something screwy. Okay, I don't trust the LLM. I don't trust it. Do not mess up my data. Doesn't take that long to just do this. I don't even type that fast. Doesn't take that long. Okay. Rectangle asset map. Wrong syntax. This should be expected expression. Am I stupid? Why did I just set this to color? This is rectangle. One, two. Yeah, I think you got it right this time. Those look to be the same size. I know that I did this before. Color colors equals let's just do it like this. Rectangle what does this do? I'm just screwing up syntax somewhere. Color colors. Yeah. Brackets go here. Array type is not assignable. I can technically copy it, right? No? Where the heck is memcopy? Isn't it in, where the heck is it? It's in standard, it's in string? What? Or standard IO? I think standard IO, right? Test source. Oh, okay. Does this take a size? Yes, it does. Oops. Goddamn stupid garbage noob site. Is that actually in string? Huh. Well, that got us past this error. Now, what do we have? Load texture. Error assigning to texture 2D star. Okay, these don't need to be pointers. There's absolutely no reason for these to be pointers. Not at all. Color. This needs a cast. Oops. Cast. 1652. We forgot some semicolons, maybe. 1660. Screen width. $16.70. Incompatible type. Yeah, so this is game renderer. Good, now our init compiles. What? Oh, this binds tightly. Wait, really? I think it's just this. Somehow something screwed up here. That's weird. Mm. Mm. No member named camera. Okay. Fair point. We need a camera here. Undeclared. Env is undeclared. Oh, this is renderer. Of course. And screen width. I don't know why that this redid the same bullshit again, but like this. Okay, so now we're all the way down to here. No module named camera in map renderer. What? Put it in the wrong one or something? Camera. Map renderer? Oh, wait. Map. Yeah, this is game renderer. We have this as fmain. Undeclared identifier. This is int. and then is okay. Is key down 1746. That's way down there. That's nice. We just have to fix some API calls that ported incorrectly. We're gonna get this pretty soon. At least we're gonna get it compiling pretty soon. We'll see how long it takes to debug runtime errors. I'm hopeful that we can have this running something that looks like the old client today. I'm hopeful. It is already 5. I got such a late start today. That's my bad. I'll try to work late. What? Instar actions? Wait. I'm trying to remember how actions works. Ah. You see here I have this jank cast, right? Just so I can use the nicer syntax. Okay. Nice, we're all the way down to here now. I forgot some semicolons apparently. A lot of semicolons. Holy, a lot of semicolons. And now we're already 1801. What's wrong with this? This is env map. Let's do map. Let's just define map up top, because I think we're going to use this a lot. Yeah, so like down here, this is now just map. And now this is map. And then this is map grid. Incompatible. This is just env map. 2. We're all the way down to here now. This is map grid. Whoops. 1807. This is also map PIDs. All the way 1855. That's nice. What do we have here? Too many arguments. Expected 4, have 6. Really? Start pause, end pause. Thickness, color. Well, shoot. 2. Yeah, there you go. That's the API. Whoops. 18, 6,